is a wild-looking restaurant, serving wildly delicious food, and it's owned by a bit of a wild man. Balani on Moody Street in Waltham is the latest eatery from Chef Dave Becker, the laid-back but creative culinary force behind Sweet Basil in Needham and Juniper in Wellesley. And now for the first time, he's focusing his attention on Asian cuisine, at least most of the time.
Balani we're actually doing like a Pan-Asian American restaurant, and it's based off of a typo. It was actually supposed to be Baladi with a D, and my lawyer misread my handwriting. He thought it was an N instead of a D. And I was like, fair enough. That's good.
And that's just the kind of guy Dave is. He goes with the flow. He tries stuff. And when it comes to taste, he pretty much always succeeds.
It's like a big spot. It's got a pretty big bar, fun-loving bartenders, and I'd say just kind of like what I've always done. Big portions of flavorful food, and this time, instead of garlic, it's a little more ginger. There's a lot of soy glaze, and there's some passion fruit mustard. I'd say it's similar vibe. You want to make it just like fun, laid back, and play the music a little too loud, and dim the lights a little bit, and just make the food so there's plenty. You want to be able to split with friends, and maybe even take some home for later. You don't want it to be like everything seems like an hors d'oeuvre and then you find out that was the main course.
Along with executive chef Tim Fischera, Balani's menu runs across Asia and jumps around to some all-American classics. There's a short rib stir-fry with homemade noodles and spicy chilies, steamed mussels with brandy and Old Bay seasoning with sourdough croutons, crispy roasted Brussels sprouts with pickled Granny Smith apples, Thai-style seafood stew, Korean-style sticky smoked pork ribs with a soy gochujang sauce, lightly fried Japanese pork katsu over stir-fried rice, chickpea fries with charred scallion mayo, even a juicy pan-roasted sirloin steak with mushrooms and goat cheese. And you'll definitely want to start your meal with an order of truly mind-blowing duck poutine.
The first time I ever had poutine, it felt like there'd been a joke played on me, where like I didn't realize that anyone did that. It was like French fries with gravy and cheese curds, and it was like, where has this been? It's like a rich gravy, but then you have the poached egg on the top, so it almost tastes like breakfast. And then it has like 5 spice and the cheese curds that all kind of string together.
Another must-order appetizer is the signature pork belly rangoon.
Most traditional crab rangoons, they either don't have any crab in them at all, and it's just like fried cream cheese. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But the smoked pork belly, we get the whole pork belly and we put it in the smoker and then pull it apart and toss it with just onions and ginger and soy, and then mix it with the cream cheese and then fry them. And so it's kind of got this rich cream cheese, really reminiscent of a crab rangoon, but then it's got bacony flavor. But then I actually think my favorite part of that dish is the passion fruit mustard. Makes your ears ring a little bit, but then it finishes sweet. It's addictive. You can't stop eating them.
Equally irresistible is the adobo fried chicken served with fresh-baked bourbon biscuits, chorizo gravy, and braised collard greens.
Oh, it's amazing. No, it's really good. And we've been on the fence about this because 2 pieces is too small, 3 is too big, and we just went for 3. I'd say most people do it knife and fork, but I don't think anyone here would judge you if you like stuffed it in a sandwich.
And if you really want a stuff-worthy sandwich, just order the Balani burger, even though there's nothing remotely Asian about it.
I've become a big believer in the smash burger. It's kind of like Five Guys. Like you get more surface area and more crispy flavor on there, and so you smash it. But then we did 2 patties glued together with cheese and some pulled pork, and then homemade Thousand Island dressing, which has got to be the best condiment. Everybody's had thousands of burgers over the course of their lives, and I've had people just look at me like dead serious, and you can see the whites of their eyes on both sides and be like, this is the best burger I've ever had. I'm not saying I've heard that many times, but I've heard it enough that I'm like, ooh.
And when you take food this good and serve it in a cool spot full of colorful, whimsical artwork, and maybe throw in a couple craft cocktails along the way, you can't help being happy at Balani.
A lot of restaurants, when you go out to dinner, it's like you know you're somewhere serious, and everyone there is being serious. I'd just rather like leave that at the door, come in. I just want it to be fun. I really do. It's like you show up and you have a good time and you're with people, you know, that you like. Maybe you don't even like that much and you like them more when you're done. It's like...